To this very day, people don't believe that artists have to sell their souls to make it to the top of the music industry. When this topic is brought up, it's seen as taboo and most people just write it off. But just taking one good look at the music industry, it's almost impossible for you to deny yourself that there's a demonic influence behind it. These artists are playing with dark forces, and that is easy to see. While there's a lot of people that don't believe in God or the devil, it's hard to deny that the devil is what runs the music industry. As why else would all these artists use so much demonic and satanic imagery? There has to be something truly behind this, and it's not just shock value or imagery. By just taking one good look at these artists, you can tell they sold their souls. And that's exactly what the upcoming artist Lil Tony revealed just a few days back. Chances are some of you have seen this viral video of the upcoming rapper Lil Tony explaining how he turned to God and what showed them the truth about the music industry. According to Lil Tony, those behind the evil in the industry approached him and offered him a deal to take his career to the next level, and all he had to do was give up his manhood. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about the upcoming rapper Lil Tony, detailing the exact moment the Illuminati approached him to sell his soul. Let's get right into it. In the last few days, there has been a video going viral all over social media and on YouTube of an upcoming rapper named Lil Tony. So many of you guys have been requesting I talk about Lil Tony's story and give my thoughts on it. When I heard Lil Tony's story, I was not only shocked but surprised that he was openly admitting this to the world. Now, while his story might sound unbelievable at first, you have to consider the fact that most people don't know how the music industry truly operates. They don't understand the evil that powers this music industry. Over the last few years, we have all been seeing the rise of this satanic demonic imagery that has been taking over. At one point, it almost seemed like every single music video, no matter what genre it was coming from, was demonic and satanic. They all featured the same themes: worship of the devil and rituals, all types of wickedness that point to one thing. But since most artists that sell their souls keep it to themselves and never admit it, no one outside of the industry knows how these deals take place. Since most celebrities deny being involved with the Illuminati or any occult secret societies, most people just take their word for it and believe there's nothing sinister behind the industry. They tell themselves that the satanic imagery is just shock value and is there to spark conversation. But according to Lil Tony, there's more behind this imagery than just shock value. For those who haven't heard the story of Lil Tony, a few days back he was on a live stream where he told a streamer that he was approached by the Illuminati during a meeting he attended on top of a mountain. Lil Tony explains that he was booked by some people that flew him out to California and took him to the top of a secluded mountain. While there, he met some extremely rich people that he began talking with. According to Lil Tony, he asked them what did they do to make all that money, with the guys telling Lil Tony that they practice demonic rituals. Lil Tony wasn't buying it and tried laughing it off, questioning them once again, but they insisted that they were involved in satanic practices. Eventually, Lil Tony was taken to the top of the mountain where they made the proposition to him, telling him that he can join the Illuminati too. All he had to do was allow one of their members to take his manhood away in order for them to grant them the privilege. Lil Tony claimed that they told him Leonardo DiCaprio himself was the one doing the initiation rituals. But the most shocking thing he said was that at one point he got in the vehicle with these people and one of the men that he was talking to out of nowhere shapeshifted with his face turning demonic. Lil Tony said he was horrified and was trying to leave the vehicle, but unfortunately, since it was a fancy sports car, he didn't have any idea how to get out of the car. Eventually, the man driving the vehicle ended up hitting a mailbox, and when he got out of the car to check, Lil Tony saw the button that he pressed to get out of the vehicle, and he did the same thing, running outside of the car, approaching a mailman, and asking him if he can hide inside of his truck. This is how Lil Tony was able to escape, and according to him, this is what led him to turn into a Christian rapper.
I'll tell you real quick.
Yes.
All right. Anybody who wants to be in the industry, understand what industry you are becoming of. Understand where you want to go, because the music industry, the entertainment industry is ran by the devil. I want y'all to know this. I thought it was cap. I thought the devil was cap. I thought God was cap. Now, I ain't gonna say I thought God was cap. I just thought it wasn't no Illuminati. I thought it wasn't none of that going. But what I want folks to know is, I know you probably seen the story I was telling about me getting booked for a photo shoot and having a real encounter with the devil. So,
wait, you had an encounter with the devil?
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that. Can you like?
They booked me for a photo shoot. This is what made me start getting into God. right before I got locked up again.
Yeah.
This how I knew God was talking to me though. I was straddling the fence still on belief. This is why I was telling you I didn't know what to believe because I was getting into all the spirituality. I ain't know what to believe. And God sent me a real encounter. So I went up. I got booked for a photo shoot. They took me all the way up this mountain. I was on top of the mountain. We finished the photo shoot. They have OD cars. They got a 3-seater McLaren. They got a Ferrari. And I'm asking them like, how y'all get all this money? Like, how y'all do this? Like, they like, we do demonic rituals. I'm laughing. I'm like, no, you don't, bro. I'm like, how you get this money? Don't put me on. I'm trying to get like y'all. Like, nah, we do demonic rituals. I say, so what type of demonic ritual? He say, the Illuminati never talk to you. I'm laughing. I'm still laughing at him. Like, bro, you playing a game. Like, why y'all playing with me? Stop playing. Like, how y'all getting this money? He like, bro, no, for real. Leonardo DiCaprio do all the initiation. I'm like, what? I'm like, who is that? What is you talking about, gang? He was like, he giving me a list of people who all did it. I'm gonna keep it PG-13. He was basically saying either you let them peg you or you do oral and you'll get whatever you want. Tell them what you want. If you want to be the next big actress, next big whoever, I can take you to somebody. And all you gotta let them do is just do what they want to do to you just for a night. Do some gay, basically do some gay. That's what he was telling me. I'm like, hell no, you playing, gang. You playing. So I'm still not trying to believe this. And he like, this when they get to laughing, they like, oh, we need to take him to the booty club. I'm like, man, stop playing with me, bro. He like, bro, I can make it happen. Now, while they doing all this, I'm trying to call my Uber. We on top of the mountain though. So I don't got no service. So I'm like, all right, I see which one need to work on me. They take off. The people who booked me, they take off. Like I tell them, I'm like, all right, y'all can take me to y'all Korean barbecue. I'm telling them this. Cause they were telling me, they was like, when I start calling my Uber, my flight was finna take off. So they was like, man, your flight finna take off anyway. Let us just get you a hotel and you can come get some food at our Korean barbecue. I'm like, at first I was like, nah. But then I ain't had no service to get downstairs. I mean, get down the hill.
Right.
So I'm telling them, take me down to the bottom of the mountain. When I'm not telling them this, but in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna let them take me to the Korean barbecue. Then when we get down there, I'm just call me an Uber and go. So I tell them, like, take me down to the Korean barbecue. They're like, okay, Shmoo, good. Okay, boom. The people who booked me left. After they leave, I'm in the car with the other dude that they called up to have a photo shoot with me or take pictures because he come up and he like to take pictures with celebrities to make him look like he was rich or famous. I get in the car with him in the 3-seater McLaren. This man, as we going down, see, on the way up, we go all the way up like in the swivel, like all the way around the mountain. Yeah. On the way down, we take a right. So he not going the same way that we came up. So I'm like, what the hell? So then that's what I try. I'm like, okay. I'm like, take me to go get some McDonald's, gang. I'm like, I want to go get some McDonald's. He said, we're not going to take you to get no McDonald's. We spent all this money to get you up here. It's face change, gang. In front of me, you see Venom? Like,
yeah, like
Spider-Man?
Yeah, from Spider-Man.
Kind of like that. It wasn't like OD, like long, like the veins OD long got his face. It was probably about this wide. Like, face change. I'm like, what the? Like, it's probably about like right here. Like, all I can say, bro, it was like, oh, kind of like the Sandman. Like how you'll see somebody morph into something. Yeah. It's like that. It threw me all the way off. So I'm confused now. I'm like, okay. I didn't know how to get out the car. I would have been got out the car. We in the 3-seater McLaren, so it's like a button you got to push to get up out of there.
Gotcha.
So he backing in. Now he backing into somebody driveway. He smack on mailbox. So now he hit the button and he get up out of there. He hit the button and get up out of there. I see the button. I'm getting up out of there too. I hit the button. Guess what? It's a mailman come out of nowhere. I run up to him. I'm like, hey, bro, let me get in the back of your truck. He looking at me like, well, yeah, no. I look at him. I'm like, bro, just let me get in the back of your truck, bro. Like, please, just take me down. Take me down to the bottom. Please, just take me down to the bottom. It was God. He took me down to the bottom. Like, if I were him, I wouldn't have took me down to the bottom. Some random trying to get in the back of my truck. Hell no. He took me down to the bottom, and I called an Uber, and I just left. The whole thing was just, I felt it in my spirit. As soon as I got up to the top of that mountain, it was something off.
Something wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never seen no motion like that. Like where I'm from, like, 100,000, that's smooth. Like we hunt, that's hood rich. You get you 100,000, you up 100,000, get you a nice car, a little spot, you good. But these folk having real money.
So you knew, like, based on their stats, that there was something wrong. And
it wasn't even that. It was the fact of how when I got up there, first of all, that whole mountain just felt funny. Then when it was time for me to go, it started kicking in. When I was trying to get my Uber and I seen that they had me at the top of the mountain, no service, no nothing. And they came up here. Out of everybody, they came up to the one spot. I'm like, man, hell no. Like,
you knew something was off.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you even then, like you knew from that moment, like, man, I can't be doing that even before you were fully submitted to Christ. And now looking back on it, it's crazy how like the devil will overplay his hand. And then you like literally, this guy's like, yeah, bro, we do demonic rituals and it's like normal. And you're like, what? That's crazy. And now you're serving the Lord and you're just like, dude, these guys, I think there's a big encouragement there just to let, like, our battle's not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. And I really believe the devil's overplaying his hand now. And
he definitely is. He definitely is. That's basically what I was saying though. I just want to give my testimony. The reason I'm telling this story is because it comes from me. Like, where I'm from, I ain't gonna say necessarily believe in the devil, but we don't really pay attention to the devil. Like, it's not big. We trying to get some money and stay out of the way. That's it. Get some money, get fly, stay out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For me to actually see that in my face, I was just, see, what I'm trying to say is this coming from me, bro. If you know me, you know me. If you don't know me, then the people on the camera, you ain't got to believe me. I don't care.
Yeah.
But if you know me, you know I don't do no capping. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
I don't just lie. I don't just talk.
Yeah.
I really saw this.
I believe it.
And it made me, that's what made me know that the devil and God was real. But that's what made me start to understand what is the real God. Since the devil real, what is the real God?
Yeah.
And within this last year, that was done 2 years ago. Yeah. But that was like a year and a half. But within this year and a half, that's what's been getting me closer to God. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you saw the darkness.
I seen it.
And now you're in the light with Jesus.
As you heard for yourself, Lil Tony tells us himself that before this, he didn't believe in God or the devil. A lot of rappers that enter the industry are the same way. They don't believe neither in God or the devil. All they believe is in money, which makes it so much easier for them to sell their souls. Once they're in the industry, they slowly groom these artists and introduce them to this satanic lifestyle. When these artists see the money that's coming in the lifestyle, they'll do anything to have it, including selling their souls and doing things that are immoral. That's how they get so many artists to sell their souls. Remember, being a famous artist is a dream for so many people in this world. So many people will do anything to be able to be a successful artist. So when these people who have the power to make you famous are standing in front of you, these inspiring artists will do anything they say, no matter what it is, even if that means worshiping the devil himself. We see it countless times. So many artists come in the industry looking one way, and just a few short years later, they're unrecognizable. They start adopting this dark persona, start dressing satanic, and even start promoting Satanism through their music. For example, like we saw with Playboi Carti. When Playboi Carti got in the music industry, he was signed by no other than A$AP Rocky, who himself was deep into Satanism and showed so much satanic imagery in his music videos. When Rocky signed Playboi Carti looked like a regular rapper. Just a few years later, Playboi Carti dresses like a gay vampire. That is the influence the music industry has over them. And it's not just Playboi Carti, it's so many artists. Lil Uzi Vert, Trippie Redd, all of these rappers came in looking one way, and then not long after the industry consumes them, they become demonic versions of themselves. Another thing that Lil Tony said that was interesting was that he was booked for a photo shoot, and they ended up taking him to the top of the mountain where they made their proposition. Think about this. How many other celebrities you think are invited to these secluded locations to be given the offer to sell their souls? This is happening to all of your favorite artists. This is how they get you alone and vulnerable to be able to take advantage of you and steal your soul. Now, according to Lil Tony, Leonardo DiCaprio was the man doing the initiation rituals, and I honestly believe it. I have proven in the past that Leonardo DiCaprio is actually a member of the Freemasons. He admitted this himself during an interview in Germany. Unfortunately though, the video is in German. Lil Tony also talked about how these men admitted that they got all their riches and fame from doing demonic rituals. People don't believe this, but honestly, this is something as old as time. The alchemists used to perform rituals in order to turn lead into gold. Witchcraft and alchemy has always been directly tied to wealth and money. On Earth, money is the only thing that allows someone to pretend to be God. If they are rich and have unlimited money, they can buy whatever they want, they can do whatever they want, and they can take advantage of as many people as they want, as so many people will do anything for an opportunity. And when you have that kind of money, you can make anyone bend to your will. The most alarming thing Lil Tony said was that one of the men he was speaking to literally transformed in front of him, with his face turning demonic. He explained the person as almost looking like the Venom character from Spider-Man. This lets you know that these people aren't just regular people. They are likely possessed by demons. While many people don't believe in demonic possessions because of what they've seen in movies, that's not how it happens at all. A lot of these occultists perform specific rituals in order to contact demonic forces and have them influence them and take over them. While the person still has control, the demonic force that's possessing them allows them to do things that they would not normally be able to do. For example, like we saw with Beyonce and Sasha Fierce. Beyonce basically admitted that she was possessed by Sasha Fierce early in her career, and it was her alternate ego that she went to whenever she had to perform. But in reality, Sasha Fierce wasn't just another personality of Beyonce. Sasha Fierce was likely a deity that was possessing her.
Than I expected, and Sasha was in full effect. Sasha is my alter ego. When people see me, sometimes I think that when they meet me and they speak with me, they're expecting Sasha. I'm really kind of shy, and not really shy, but more reserved. Nothing like Sasha. She can do things that I cannot do when I'm in rehearsal. I mean, I can try, but then it just doesn't happen. I can sing notes, and sing strong, and do all these things that when I'm just by myself, I can't do. I remember right before I performed, I raised my hands up, and it was kind of the first time I felt something else come into me.
Sasha Fierce, when does she show up?
Usually when I hear the crowd, when I put on my stilettos, when like the moment right before when you're nervous and that other thing kind of takes over for you.
Beyonce and many of these artists are deep into ritualistic magic. During ritual magic, the point of the ritual is to invoke a deity and have them take over you. This way they can offer you enlightenment or guide you and help you to do things that you can't do on your own. This is why so many of these celebrities channel these demons and use them for their art. And this is what I believe Lil Tony was encountering. Another rapper that openly admits these artists are selling their souls for fame and fortune was the rapper Lil Flip. Recently, Lil Flip did an interview where he exposed that many artists sell their souls in the industry. He claims that he refused to sell out and is why his career didn't make it to the top. Even talking about something similar as Lil Tony, as he was offered the opportunity of having somebody come to his home and do a ritual to help him with his career.
About how you was one of the few rappers that never sold their soul. What made you say that?
Because I know majority of these rappers. I know what be going on behind the scenes. I know who not really in control. You know what I mean? I know the real. You know, a lot of times people be blinded by what they see in these videos and on TV, but I just know. I know what I know, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that ain't being righteous and they ain't keeping it infinity. So it's just a lot of people, man, that's just, you know, selling their soul. And man, this industry is a very evil industry. You know what I mean? Like it's very evil, man. So you got to really surround yourself with people that think like you. A lot of rappers that sold their soul and, you know, they let money dictate everything they do. They value money more than they value humans. I ain't participating in no bullshit. If it ain't righteous, I don't want to be a part of it, man. I'm not gonna snake my people and can't sell my people out and I ain't gonna sell myself out. Fame ain't that important, man, for me to just do anything.
So rappers is really out here selling their soul for success. That's a real thing.
For sure.
You ever been approached to do anything out of pocket?
I've been approached to have somebody come to my house and pray. And yeah, like, hey man, this guy, yeah, he's like he gets spirits out and you know, he wants to come and pray. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I want to continue to pray the way I've been praying. I don't know who he believe in and what he believe in, but he can't come in my house. So I kept God in what I got going on. I keep God in what I got going on. I don't love money.
As you heard for yourself, Lil Flip exposes the same thing as Lil Tony, just in a different scenario. He also denied doing it, and it's why his career never made it to where these other artists have. Now, as crazy as it might seem, what Lil Tony said has to be the truth. He claimed that in order for them to give him everything he wanted, he would have to allow them to take advantage of him and take away his manhood. We have heard this from pretty much so many other celebrities in several different ways. We all remember what Dave Chappelle said they try to do to him. They try to force him into a dress and promise them millions and millions of dollars. At that point in Dave Chappelle's career, he was at the top, and he didn't want to wear a dress even though he had done it in the past. But those executives just wouldn't hear him out, and Dave Chappelle decided that the best thing for him to do was abandon Hollywood and leave with his soul. Unfortunately though, Dave Chappelle ended up going back, because once they got you and you experienced that lifestyle, it's really hard for you to leave it all behind. While Lil Tony's story sounds far-fetched and unbelievable, I honestly believe it's true. Whether he exaggerated some points or not, I'm not sure, but I do believe that artists are being approached by those in the industry to sell out and give themselves to their cause. The industry isn't showing us all this demonic imagery for fun. They're doing it because that's who they serve. They see Lucifer as a light bearer, as a liberator, as literally the greatest artist to have ever existed. That's why they channel him, and that's why in Hollywood, he's all over the place. I'm surprised Lil Tony escaped to tell his story, and I think the reason he's still alive is because he hasn't named no names. There has been a video floating online claiming to be the day that Lil Tony met those people that turned into demons and offered him to sell his soul. This is the video they refer to when they claim it happened. Now, I don't know if this is the video he was referring to. He did mention there being Asian people when he was there. And in this video, there are Asian people who look extremely wealthy and have fancy cars behind them. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the people he was talking about. Understand this, the music industry is not what it seems. They're never going to admit that this is what happens because once they do, the illusion falls apart. They want you to think that there is no devil. They want you to believe there is no God because then they have full control over you. Then you're a puppet that they can use for their advantage. And that's what they're doing to so many people. If you ever get the opportunity like Lil Tony, do exactly what Lil Tony did. Avoid selling your soul. Turn down the opportunity and turn to God, as he's the only one that can keep you safe at that point. Well, I want to know what you guys think below. Do you believe Lil Tony, or do you feel like he made all of this up? I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.